In this session, we look into the introductory concepts of Java like history of Java, requirements for Java, importance of Java and features of Java. As history goes, Java is originally developed by Sun Microsystems, later acquired by Oracle Corporation. This project is initiated by James Gosling. This language, initially called Vogue, then went by the name Green and finally renamed as Java. Java 1.0 is the first public release by Sun in the year 1995. In the year 2006, Sun released much of Java as FOSS, that is, free and open source software under the terms of the GNU General Public License. Now let us look into hardware and software requirements to work with Java. We need CPU, that is processor 266 MHz and above, RAM 128 MB, disk space 124 MB for JRE, that is Java Runtime Environment, 2 MB for Java updates. With respect to operating system, the Windows XP and above and Linux, Mac OS will do. The important component of Java is JDK, Java Development Toolkit, that is version 7 or 8. We need browser like Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome and many depending upon the OS dependent. Text editor like Notepad for creating source file. In other way, we have many IDEs, that is integrated development environment software like Eclipse, NetBeans, JDeveloper, JCreator and many more could be used to develop Java program. After much discussion, we get a query like why Java is needed. Basically, in one sentence we can say Java provides a system or environment for developing application softwares and deploying it in a cross-platform computing environment. As we see in the last slide, we had two catchy things. One is development and deployment. What is software development? It is a process of conceiving, specifying, designing, programming, that is coding, documenting, testing and bug fixing involved in creating and maintaining applications, frameworks or other software components. That is, from required specification to final product. Product means software, the ready to use. Next, what is deployment? It is a process of making product right in use. That is, installed, configured and start using in real time. All the activities that make a software system available for use. This process consists of several interrelated activities with possible transitions between them. These activities can occur at the developer side or at the consumer side or both. Finally, at the outset, Java is used to develop standalone applications, web applications, mobile applications. Java is a purely an object-oriented programming language. Java programs are platform independent. Java is free and open source software. Free and open source software. We have two types of softwares available. One is free and open source, another one is proprietary softwares. Free software means anyone is freely licensed to use, copy, study and change the software in any way. Open source software openly shared so that the people are encouraged to voluntarily improve the design of the software. In the contrast to proprietary software, where the software is under restrictive copyright licensing and source code is usually hidden from the user. Platform independent software. When we say so, software that can run on a variety of hardware platforms and software architecture is said to be platform independent software. It can be used in many different environments, requiring less planning and translation across an enterprise. In other way, a software that can run on any hardware platforms like Intel PC, Mac systems, Sun Park system, etc. Software platforms like Windows of different versions, Linux or Unix, Mac OS, etc. At the bottom line, the platform independent softwares are the softwares that runs on system of any make and managed by any OS. There was a problem, like applications written for a particular platform will not work on another platform. This was a serious issue. This needs to be addressed. By introducing the concepts of interpreter, the problem is solved. Interpreter on different environment is capable of executing the code written on one system environment. Now let us learn about the available platforms could be used to develop Java applications or programs. 4 types of Java platforms are listed here. That is J2SE Java 2 Standard Edition, J2EE Java 2 Enterprise Edition, J2ME Java 2 Micro Editions, Java Card, Java for Smart Cards. J2SE, that is Standard Edition. It is a computer platform for development and deployment of portable code for desktop and server environments. J2SE was formerly known as Java 2 Platform Standard Edition. J2EE, that is Enterprise Edition. It is a platform independent and Java centric environment from Sun Microsystem for developing, building and deploying web-based enterprise applications online. It consists of a set of services, APIs, that is application program interfaces, and protocols that provide the functionality for developing multi-tiered and web-based applications. Then we have J2ME, that is Micro Edition. It is a technology that allows programmers to use the Java programming language and related tools. It is used to develop programs for mobile wireless information devices such as cellular phones and personal digital assistants, we call the PDAs. Java cards. It is the tiniest one of Java among all Java platforms targeted for embedded devices. Software technology that allows Java-based applications, that is like applets, to be run securely on smart cards and similar small memory footprint devices. Java card gives the user the ability to program the devices and make them application specific. It is widely used in ATM cards. The main design goals of the Java card technology are portability and security. So far, we have learnt how Java is originated, why Java is needed, platforms available for Java coding. Now, we are going to learn features of Java, that is, answer for the question why I should accept Java. Here it is. The features of Java is listed here. Java has many features. Some of them are object oriented, compiled and interpreted, platform independent and architecture neutral, portable, robust, multi-threading, high performance, distributed and dynamic. Basically, Java is an object-oriented programming language. Hence, it must be object-oriented. That means it is based on the object model. In Java, everything is an object. It supports all features of object-oriented programming. The next feature of Java is compiled and interpreted. Any Java code has two phases: compilation and interpretation. Java source code is compiled into bytecode. Bytecode is intermediate form, neither source code nor machine code. Bytecode is interpreted by the system on whichever platform it is being run. The system or environment which interprets bytecode is said to be virtual machine. Here is most important and most acceptable feature of Java, that is platform independent and architecture neutral. Java code is not compiled into platform specific machine, but it is compiled into platform independent bytecode. This bytecode is distributed over the web. Web is nothing but is a collection of systems of heterogeneous type. Hence, it is not platform dependent, not system dependent, it is platform independent and architecture neutral. The next feature of Java is secured. Java program runs in its own virtual machine sandbox. It supports data hiding, hence data protection is provided. Since no use of pointers, unauthorized access to memory block is prevented. It provides access control functionality. It has exception handling capability. It has package by name java.security, which provides the classes and interfaces for the security framework. Portability. Java code is portable. Why we say so? No implementation dependent aspects, hence it is portable. Java language produces code for multiple platforms. The concept of bytecode and JVM makes developer more comfortable. At the bottom line, write once and run anywhere. Hence, Java is portable. Java is robust because of early checking of possible errors and strong memory management. This makes the system secure from the crash. Early checking of possible errors means Java emphasizes on compilation time error checking and runtime error checking. The strong memory management means Java has automatic garbage collection technique. The garbage collection technique on JVM get rid of objects which are not being used by Java code anymore. Hence, Java is said to be robust, that is very strong language for Java developer. Java supports multi-threading. That is, Multi-threading programs can perform tasks simultaneously. This design feature allows the developers to construct interactive applications that can run smoothly. Next, high performance is one of the features of Java language. So I can say Java is language of high performance. Use of just-in-time compiler. Java enables high performance. JIT, that is Java just-in-time compiler, helps the compiler to compile the code on demand basis. That is, whichever method is called only, that method block will get compiled, making compilation fast and time efficient. Next, distributed. Java extensively supports distributed environment. Java is designed from the bottom up, keeping networking and internet in mind. RMI, that is remote method invocation, EJB, Enterprise Java Beans, facilitates developer to create distributed applications. Concepts like applets, servlets, idlets provides high-level abstractions for network communication and distributed processing. Excellent support for TCP, UDP and other protocols results in efficient socket programming. Java code is dynamic in nature. Techniques like dynamic dispatch, late binding, method overriding embedded in Java. Java programs can carry extensive amount of runtime information that can be used to verify and resolve accesses to the objects on runtime. By this, we come to the end of the session, but discussion continues. The next concept will be provided in the form of next video. Thank you.